Boston on Tuesday, January 27th. Feel the thrill of all your favorite superstars live in action just 2 days after WWE Royal Rumble. Don't miss John Cena, Randy Orton, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns battle Seth Rollins, Kane, The Big Show, and Bray Wyatt in an 8-man tag team match. It's WWE SmackDown live Tuesday, January 27th. Tickets are available.
You already know Kowloon Restaurant, established in 1950 and spanning 4 generations, serves a multi-Asian menu. Did you also know that Kowloon Restaurant is New England's premier Asian dining and entertainment complex, serving Cantonese, Szechuan, Thai, and Polynesian cuisine? And did you know that Kowloon Restaurant is also the home of the finest Japanese sushi? If you haven't dined at Kowloon Restaurant lately, then you simply haven't dined at Kowloon. Kowloon Restaurant, Route 1 North in Saugus.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Harley Race.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
This is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans, welcome to a special edition of Wrestling Insiders. I'm Dan Marotti, taking a look back, WWE Monday Night Raw from Monday, January the 12th, 2014. The big picture coming out of Raw is that Seth Rollins looked fantastic and more of an equal with Brock Lesnar and John Cena heading into the Royal Rumble Triple Threat Championship match. Rollins wound up laying out both Cena and Lesnar with the curb stomp. And Paul Heyman did a great job separating himself and Brock Lesnar from what the Authority was up to. Really built a lot of intrigue into the triple threat match at the Royal Rumble on January the 25th in Philadelphia. Seth Rollins, to me, doesn't come off as an equal to Cena and Lesnar, so they certainly did a good job in pushing Rollins up the ladder. This was one of the easier 3-hour Raws to sit through in quite some time. It moved quickly, in my opinion, with nothing atrocious on the screen. The con to it, again, is that so many talents are overexposed in too many angles. No talent should be in more than one angle on any program outside of a rare instance where it's needed. Certainly here they were not. Lesnar was included in 3 segments. Rollins was in at least 3. Ditto on John Cena. Why are people supposed to pay for the WWE Network for quote-unquote more WWE on top of Raw and SmackDown when there's an overwhelming amount of free content with the top stars on TV now? I don't know. WWE produced an outstanding Macho Man Randy Savage video when they announced his entry into the WWE Hall of Fame on WrestleMania Eve in San Jose. I'm sure Macho Man fans all over the world are excited about this one. WWE proves once again that nobody produces video packages like they do. It was great stuff all around. Dolph Ziggler, Eric Rowan, and Ryback are still fired, which is a good thing. They should be sitting on the sideline for a while to sell the firing angle on last week's Raw. Really says something when 9-year-old junior ambassador Devon Brent says that they'll be back because they always come back when they're fired. If fans don't trust the creative, no one is going to invest money into it. A lot of times they won't even invest their time to watch it for free. That's why the ratings continue to decline, unfortunately. The Roman Reigns Luke Harper match was really solid with 2 big guys that can go. I don't understand the internet hate towards Roman Reigns, as to me, outside of his verbal abilities, he's the total package headed into the second half of this decade. The creative for his promos with The Big Show was terrible. He didn't need to be citing little children's nursery rhymes. Whoever is producing that content for the Roman Reigns character needs to seriously reconsider their position on that. I would have liked to have seen a more angry delivery perhaps with it, but he needs to be the badass babyface WWE has really never had on top. Kevin Nash's Diesel character was over huge for WWE in 1994. Then when he became the champion, they watered him down until he turned heel in late 1995. He lost so much steam on top as the champion, where I think he really could have excelled if they played to his natural abilities, which he showed for most of 1994. People can complain about Reigns' skills, but, I do recall The Undertaker being a quiet guy when he was a main eventer in 1991. I think fans need to be a little bit more patient, and I think WWE needs to let Roman Reigns just be a little bit more of himself. Roman Reigns has it. He should be it. And let's let the fans gravitate towards him more than a character right now that's half badass, half nonsense. With 5 hours of free TV each week, I continue to want an explanation as to why the Wyatts broke up. It still makes no sense that this cult-like family would just disband and begin wrestling each other. It's a lack of creative direction there, big time. Get the characters and their intent over to the fans so they're more invested in what they're watching. The reason for the Wyatt splitting after the year plus they had on the roster should be very newsworthy, storyline-wise, not treated as an afterthought. There's so much repetitive content on Raw and SmackDown each week as it is. This is something they should deliver for on the fans. The Dean Ambrose psychiatrist segments were boring. Nobody cared and did nothing to enhance Ambrose. The doctor was not David Reese, for your information. Ambrose needs a tougher vocabulary, again, using terms like cow dung. That's not going to make him look all that cool. After the psychiatrist segments are over, there were 20 guys that could have taken Ambrose's spot and getting laid out by Rusev later in the show. Where it's such a thin roster with few true top-of-the-card guys, they need to be protected as much as possible until the payday comes for the pay-per-views. Daniel Bryan's return is already starting to lose steam, in my opinion. If I'm holding the pencil, Daniel Bryan would do one promo announcing his return, a couple of video packages on TV and online, and then he returns in-ring at the Rumble to see if he can duplicate his run last year. His second in-ring segment, it was in New Orleans, so it had a little meaning to it. But having his grudge match 8 years in the making with Kane shouldn't be on free TV. It should be on a pay-per-view to try and sell network subscriptions. If that's their true intent, they should be putting more featured content that people really want to see on the network for $9.99. If they don't, fans can just enjoy it as is, but that's not helping the bottom line. I understand that SmackDown moving to Thursday is very important to the company. I think it's great for the company that SmackDown is moving to Thursdays. Friday night was not a great slot for it, and I expect to see the ratings increase. Might have been better to have the stars that they're using for no reason at the Raw reunion next week to launch SmackDown on Thursdays. Why not? That's just one man's opinion, but SmackDown needs to be treated as an equal to Raw, and the sooner they can create two separate brands, the better. There were 2 Divas matches this week instead of one. One is more than plenty, in my opinion. Cameron was forced to wrestle with one arm tied behind her back as Stephanie's punishment to the Usos for siding with John Cena before Survivor Series. The match itself had no heat as usual. Paige took on one of the Bellas. Still waiting for an explanation as to why Nikki turned on Brie at SummerSlam. Why Brie went back with her sister 2 months later. Why the Servant for the Month was never played up. Why did John Cena and Daniel Bryan not care about what their significant others are doing? Again, with 5 hours of free TV each week, there's plenty of time to delve into the psyche of these characters. Just one man's thoughts, but they would be taken more seriously if so. Glad to see the Ascension is being fed no-name jobbers to be able to get their characters and movesets over with the fans. It's very important to develop their personalities and ring work before moving on to face bigger-name talent. That's been missing going back to the Monday Night Wars, unfortunately. Props to WWE for feeding and delivering the Ascension the right way to start off their run on top. There was a good tag team match with the New Day and Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. Michael Cole said both teams could be in the tag team title picture. They have 5 tag teams on the roster, and they're all in the title picture. When you have a play-by-play guy that has zero credibility with the fans, that's a problem. That's why Jim Ross should at least be doing Raw until another announcer with credibility can be groomed. To me, Michael Cole has none. He cannot sell the goods when it comes to professional wrestling and sports entertainment. Is there a spot for him? Sure. Is it play-by-play? Absolutely not. He's terrible. The Lumberjack match with John Cena and Seth Rollins was good, as it should have been. Didn't expect to see it open the show to get maximum impact. Why not have advertised it as the main event on Raw next week? To actually build up wrestling on the show instead of the return of 4 legends for no apparent reasons. There was more nonsense with Adam Rose that nobody wanted to see. The Usos feud with Miz and Mizdow continued. You have to give the Usos credit for being able to extend their feuds as they've been able to do this year with such a limited tag team division. Major props to the Usos. Great team. That's about it. Again, a lot of good segments, a few bad ones. 3 hours with commercials is a lot to sit through any week, but this one was pretty much pain-free. Good job by WWE. I remind you that SmackDown moves to Thursdays this week on the Sci-Fi Network. And for fans here in the Northeast, WWE returns to the TD Garden in Boston. Tuesday night, January the 27th, it's a loaded SmackDown taping 2 days after the Royal Rumble with a bonus 8-man tag team war for the fans in attendance. Till we speak again, fans, be well. John Cena Sr. is going to be with us in studio this week. It should be good. Don't forget about our daily History in New England Wrestling videos. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe over on youtube.com/BostonWrestlingCom. Just want you to keep in mind that, as always, we produce these videos absolutely free for fans around the corner and around the world to enjoy and learn from. We have big plans for 2015, from live wrestling events and videos to cutting-edge news and history. Last year alone, Carlito, Al Snow, Vader, Demolition, WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas, we're all here in MWF Studios. We were involved in fans being able to meet Hulk Hogan and Rob Van Dam, and tons more planned for the new year. In order to make all of our plans a reality, we need as much fan support as humanly possible. You can help the cause by simply hitting the like, share, and subscribe buttons on YouTube. Even more important, to have these superstar guests, autograph sessions, and even more episodes of Wrestling Insiders with John Cena Sr. Donate what you can to the cause. Let's be the PBS of professional wrestling. Fans from anywhere in the world can donate any amount, 50 cents, $1, $5, $10, to our PayPal email address, bw@bostonwrestling.com. And there's a new donate button on the front page of the bostonwrestling.com super site. Every dollar raised goes into our 2015 endeavors for your enjoyment.
30 years in the making. Iconic moments take on a new life in stunning images, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive interviews.
One of the most incredible nights I've ever had.
On that night, there's nobody else I could have done it with but Scott Hall.
Welcome to WrestleMania!
30 years of WrestleMania. Available September 15th. Pre-order now online or wherever books are sold.